Hey everyone, welcome to Anti-Ruggers United. Today we have an AMA with Multiblock. So let's get started by having the team introduce themselves, give us a background on the crypto experience, the crypto life, and also like personally like what they do outside of crypto, like if they have any kind of career, any kind of experience, anything relevant. So let's get started with the team.
Okay, I think I can go first. Yeah, I'm Mikey here. I'm part of the PR of the team. So basically, I'm the voice for the most part, other than Nano for Multiblock. So I've been in the space for more or less around 4 years. I started off as an investor, which I assume how a lot of people have started in the crypto space. And then after a year, I realized that there's more to investing in crypto. Like there's an actual product and stuff like that. So that's also the time where I started to look upon, actual projects that will make an impact in the space and outside the space. And, over time, of course, I've came across Multiblock for some connections, and I would say Multiblock does have some interesting and I think personally revolutionary concepts and utilities. So that's how I got inside the team. And yeah, you'll be hearing more from Nano. Nano, your turn.
Hey guys, I'm Nano. I'm the COO Multiblock. Similar to Mikey, I've been in crypto for about 4 or 5 years now. Started as an investor and then utilized my skill set in marketing to support other projects. Outside of crypto, I'm a marketing director for a global e-commerce brand. Been marketing and designing for about 15 to 20 years, so I'm an old boy in the space. But yeah, excited to be speaking to you guys. Been with Multiblock for just under 6 months now. Ghost, the CEO, was introduced to me by a contact from another project, which is in the similar space. And then we got talking and pretty much led the project alongside him since then. So been working hard, trying to do bits and pieces here and there with marketing, these types of AMAs, and really just trying to get the word out about Multiblock.
All right, so just the two of you, right?
Just on the AMA for now, yeah.
How big is the full team? Not including like mods or anything, like the core team only.
The core team, myself, Ghost, who's the CEO. We have Maury, who is the full stack dev, Mikey, who's the PR manager, and then a team of moderators who obviously support us with communication and things like that. So I'd say four core team members, and then not to say that the mods aren't core team. They are a big part of the team, and they do support us with, as I said, comms on Telegram and X and things like that. So 4 core and then 4 mods that I'd say are on the fringe of being part of the core team.
Okay, all right, perfect. And are you guys, is anyone doxed, KYC'd? Now give us like a lowdown on that.
Yeah, I'm KYC'd with Karma, KarmaPad, who is the launch pad that we did our pre-sale with. And then our full stack dev is also doxed to Houdini Swap, who are a partner of ours. And I'm sure we'll get into that into more detail in a bit. He's fully doxed with them because obviously he has access to the API and the code that we're obviously developing on top of. So that was we wanted to assure them with that. So yeah, basically myself and the lead dev is KYC/doxed.
All right. Is anyone publicly doxed?
I'm not publicly doxed, no. Neither is Maury. It might be something that we do in the future, but obviously with this being the privacy space, and it's kind of one of those things that is, I guess, not under question with regulation and things like that. But I think Houdini Swap are a good example of a team that have got some lawyers behind them just to assist in that area. We haven't got the luxury of having that type of funding just yet. I would probably prefer to have a conversation with a legal team prior to doxing, just to see if it's, I mean, you got to think for your own safety and things like that. It is crypto after all. We know how passionate investors are and things like that. charts go up, charts go down. So I don't have an issue with doxing myself in the future, but I'd rather take advice from someone who probably knows more about that than myself.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, I'm not doxed myself also for the similar reasons. And we have like other, like probably your competitor would be, Block Blend. They're not all, none of them are doxed either. Yeah, it totally makes sense. Because you guys are not trying to have a Fortune 500 company or anything like that. Registered legally in the U.S., right? So
exactly.
As long as we're doxing the right people, that's the goal. We just wanted to get the certifications and everything for the legal stuff of doxing. That's it. But in public, we don't know if the public doxes us. Then yeah, it's another story.
Yeah, definitely. Okay. So how did you guys get together as a team and come up with this project? Like a little bit of history. Did you guys meet like on a, maybe a different investment that you were in or a different project you guys worked on together? And is there any previous projects that you worked on that you wanted to mention?
Yeah, so Ghost was introduced to me by, I think a friend of this channel actually, a guy called Roger, who has worked with companies such as Block Blend. He's also assisted other projects with his, I'm not sure what his role is actually, but I think it's more like an operations role. He introduced myself to Ghost, and then we started talking. He shared the idea of how he's got this partnership with Houdini Swap, and he wants to essentially be the tech partner that develops on top of their API. So the way it works, I'll give you a little bit of background about that. So the way it works is Houdini Swap essentially hold the tech where they facilitate privacy swapping. And then we have links to that API. And then the idea is we build completely different tools that sit on top of that. So for example, again, Mikey or myself will go into more detail on it. We're developing a tool which allows service providers inside and outside crypto to set up invoices, request payments to their clients, and gain payment from those clients. And then all these invoices are marked as paid, but there's no tracking available to either the client or the service provider. So it's completely anonymous. So that's something we're working on at the moment, which we're really excited about. We haven't seen anything like it on the market currently. And it's something that Houdini Swap are really excited about as well. So that's coming. Back to the question. That's how myself and Ghost met. Ghost already had a lot of connections with, Mikey and a lot of moderators, and really built up the marketing list himself. And then I kind of piggybacked on the back of that. And then we've got to a point now where he's leading the project and I'm kind of assisting with operations.
All right, perfect. Okay, now I think we could go move on and talk about the project. You guys want to do an introduction about what it's all about, like what are the features, like what's the purpose, what's the issues it's trying to solve in this space, and and then after that we'll get into the details.
Okay, I guess I can get started with the introduction to the project. So basically, as you've seen at the website, as I guess you're sharing the screen now. Thank you so much for that, Maria. So yeah, the ultimate solution to fortify your privacy in the crypto world. I can go ahead and just read everything, but yeah, it's not a boring PowerPoint presentation and shit. But yeah, basically what we wanted to achieve is to have anonymous transactions for a lot of people. And if you're going to ask yourself, like, Maria, how private is crypto transactions for you? Would you consider that, blockchain technology or blockchain transactions as anonymous as one might say?
I say it's not private at all, especially if there's like a trail to, to your centralized exchange wallets where you are KYC.
Exactly. They would say that, that's why people use crypto to, some bad people will use to launder money and shit like that. But at the end of the day, every transactions can be traced. Even if you, shift it all to multiple wallets and stuff, people can still trace you if they try hard enough. So in that sense, I guess we can all agree that it's not as secure or as anonymous as we wanted it to be. So that's what we wanted to aim for. We wanted to create a system wherein if we're going to ask for payments, if people wanted to take payments, we can send them off using a private kind of platform, so that when they send money, no one will know, or it can't be traced, basically. So it's going to be as anonymous and as private as it can be. So how we aim to achieve that is via the use of our tools. And the concept of it, we got two settings, I would say, or two different kinds of products. So one is the quick swap, and one is the privacy swap. Quick swap is a more secure method of doing transactions. So with the quick swap, the process as simple as I can make it to be. Nano can go into the detail and the technology, but basically the transaction is going to go through third-party centralized exchange, and with that, it's going to go through the transaction as if it's going to go through a centralized exchange, which is essentially not going to be traceable, because once it gets through the centralized exchange, it's not like going direct wallet to wallet. So with that being said, it's still not 100%, but it's still it's a lot more safer than going directly wallet to wallet. So that being said, the second product that we have is called the privacy swap. In this case, it's quite similar to what we have in the quick swap, but in the privacy swap, we have two layers of centralized exchanges. So the not so anonymous part of the quick swap is that, yes, it will go through a centralized exchange, but people who has access to the database of all the transactions in the centralized exchange will have access to those transactions. So if needed, if someone is from there, then they can still backtrack to the wallet and the transactions that's going to be happening. But in the privacy swap, since it's going to go through two centralized exchanges, not one person is going to have both access to those database with the centralized exchanges. So essentially, that is the full kind of privacy that we're going to be offering in the privacy swap. And of course, this is part of the technology that we're going to be having to employ our main product that we're currently developing, which is the invoicing system. So with these tools, me as a personal user of crypto, I don't feel as, at the first months of using crypto, I think that I'm safe. All my transactions are safe. But, the more we know how crypto works, the more we know how not so private it is. So that is in a personal user kind of standpoint. And what we aim for is to one day also go to the, businesses and companies. So those tend to have lots of legalities. And I think one of the main reason, if not the biggest reason why massive companies are not adopting blockchain or crypto as form of transactions and, assets like that, is because, the lack of privacy. We don't want people looking into the assets or the wallet of, businesses and companies. So hopefully with these tools that we're going to be providing, it's our tool to make it out there, like outside the personal use and into the larger scope and area. So as for the invoicing system, Nano, I think you can expand more on that.
Yeah, sure. Sorry, there's a bit of feedback. The idea behind invoice system is targeting, to start with anyway, targeting crypto service providers such as KOLs, designers, content creators, and things like that, who want to be able to invoice their clients by not just providing a wallet address and having to create a new wallet every time if they want to keep their transactions secure. They can use Multiblock and actually invoice their clients, who will then receive a payment link. Through that payment link, they'll essentially utilize our privacy swap technology, or should I say Houdini Swap's privacy swap technology that we've built on top of, to make that transaction. And then on the dashboard of the service providers, they'll be able to see once the payment has been made and a multi-block ID for that payment. Once it's been made, the client will also be able to see the multi-block ID for that payment, and everything is done. They can't track the transaction. No one will be able to see the client wallet. No one will be able to see the service provider's wallet. So that's from the service provider side, but we feel it's quite good for the client side as well, because a lot of crypto projects are spending tens of thousands of dollars on marketing these days, and they don't want their competitors and sometimes their community to see where these payments are going and be able to track them. Because, with communities these days, they'll question every motive that you do, which is absolutely fine. That's crypto. We've all been part of it for so many years. But if you're spending marketing on an AMA that the community might not like or not agree with, then it can create some FUD within the group, and then investors aren't happy and things like that. So that's one part, and obviously hiding it from competitors, I think, is a big motive for projects to be utilizing it to pay their KOLs and things like that. That's pretty much the gist of invoice payment system. The reason I mentioned the multi-block ID thing earlier on is because that is the way that if a transaction's stuck, then they can reach out to us with this particular ID, and we can hunt down when the transaction will go through. The way that happens is we actually reach out to the CEX, which is Monero on this occasion, and they can hunt down and figure out what's happened with that transaction. That's not public information. No public can do that. It's purely an internal thing that gives investors who are using Privacy Swap and invoices just that security that they can track down their fund.
All right, cool. Thank you. All right, can you go into more detail about the Privacy Swap, like how it works, like the system or the mechanics behind it? Because I know, like, for example, when I'm doing like MEXC and I'm, depositing, and withdrawing from my exchanges on there, from what I understand, I believe the wallet is always the same. Maybe you could change it. Let's say I'm depositing BNB. The deposit wallet is always the same. I don't know. I never really tried to see if I could change it. So it seems like that one's not very good at doing, basically ending the connection right there at the exchange. But the cool thing about MEXC is, of course, it doesn't require KYC, so you can just create multiple accounts, but it's a pain in the ass, right? So I'm just kind of curious, what do you guys do for the Privacy Swap? Do you just have like a million different wallets that all just, one receives, a different one sends out the coins, or like how does it work?
Yeah, so essentially that with the different wallets, we don't hold liquidity on any liquidity. So they'll be presented with a wallet which has been generated, and then that is sent to Monero, which is, you've probably heard of it. It's an essentially anonymous CEX, sorry. And then there's an additional CEX on top of that, which is fixed float, I believe. So it's basically jumping from one CEX to another CEX, both famed for being anonymous, and then it's sent across back to the receiving wallet that has been input from the start. So it's about a 20-minute process. So it's Houdini Swap, who created the technology, did actually put up a bounty of, I think, $10,000 to $20,000 for anyone who can actually figure out a receiving wallet based on a transaction that's been sent, and no one's been able to do it so far. So, and that's been going for about 6+ months now, maybe even a year. Actually, it's been over a year. So that is, I'm not the most technical minded person. That's my understanding of it. Hopefully that's a good enough explanation for you.
So it's basically like, let's say I want to convert, or I just want to swap, right? Let's say BNB to a different wallet. I want to like get rid of the paper trail. So I would send it, use your DApp, and then what you guys would do, you would send that BNB to an exchange, you'd sell it, you'd buy Monero, you take that Monero out, send it Monero to a different exchange, right? And then you would sell that Monero for BNB back, and then transfer it to my wallet. Is that kind of how it works?
Yes. The only part that I'm not sure we do, and I can find this out from our developer and from the Houdini team, is if we sell it for Monero. I think we may just pass the BNB on from Monero to the second exchange, and then send it to the receiving wallet.
Okay. And so And so basically you do some kind of API, some kind of job, some kind of script that does this automatically.
Yes.
Instead of like
Yeah.
manual, because I could do the same thing, right? I could just have 2 exchanges, do all that, buy the
Yeah.
tokens, buy Monero, but then it's a pain in the ass. Like if you could do it really quickly, then it's definitely a nice
Yeah,
thing
exactly.
to have.
So if you scroll up to the top, you'll be able to go to the DApp swap now, or go to DApp, either one. So we could do a demo. You don't actually need to make a transaction here or input anything. Well, you would need to input a recipient address, but you'll basically see the second step on there, which gives you the address that you'll need to send your BNB to on this occasion, and then it shows the statuses on the right, such as sending, swapping, anonymizing, and complete, which is basically the 4 steps that someone's shown. The way I like to explain it is, I don't know if you guys in the States have the Domino's tracking app. So when you order a pizza, it tells you when it's baking, it tells you when it's left the shop, tells you when it's delivered. It's kind of like that process. It's like a 20-minute process, and it lights up each stage. So it's just like a nice UI that you can see, rather than having to manually send it to an exchange and then from that exchange to another exchange, like you said.
Okay. And do you guys have the info for the users using the swap? Like because I know like publicly, right, it can't be trackable, but you guys have all the insider or all the detailed information, right? So is it possible that like if some scammer uses it, that you will be able to track them?
Yes, it is, yeah. Because any transaction that goes through us is provided with a multi-block ID. However, there is occasions where if you don't have a multi-block ID, we would be able to track the transaction down.
So basically, it's anonymous except to the team, to you guys, right?
Yes.
Okay. But you probably, honestly, you probably wouldn't go through that or really care about it unless someone is, the feds are going after somebody and they something like that, right? Unless you're trying to help someone track somebody.
Exactly. Really, the support system's there for people who have got to the status page and it's got stuck somewhere, which happens if the gas is high or there's a lot of transactions going across Monero network. Then it does happen. It might take an hour to make that transaction, and it just gives them peace of mind to be able to check in with us through our Telegram support and ask where something is. We have, I mean, from like an illicit trading point of view, it's obviously beneficial to be able to. There's quite a lot of feedback going on. Did everyone mute, please?
Gabriel, can you mute? Or Cello, can you mute yourself?
Yeah, I think it was slow earlier.
I'll mute him. Okay, he's muted.
Thank you. Couldn't think there. Yeah, just on illicit trading, obviously, if someone's scamming and has rugged a project and they're sending, I don't know, $500 across through Swap, it's going to be difficult for us to pick up on that because it's such a little amount. So our stance on that really is we don't hold liquidity on the site, so we take a stance back, but we're obviously not trying to push scammers to utilize our swap technology. We do put maximum transaction amounts on top of our swap, so I think at the moment you probably can't transact more than $5,000 to $10,000. I'll double check that figure and confirm it back into this chat. But we obviously don't want illegal activities happening on our website. So it's a difficult one, though. As you know, it's anonymous swapping. We're against it. There's a lot of scamming in crypto. We just have to keep our eyes open and make sure that we have steps in place if people are reporting, if they feel that they might have utilized our technology to swap it, that we can action quite quickly and work with Monero and our partners just to figure out how we can stop that.
Cool. Thank you. All right. And I know Block Blend is a similar thing. I'm not even sure if there's. I believe it still works. Their swap. So what would be the main difference? How are you guys different than they are, and how would you say this differentiates you from them, and like the pros that you guys offer, like the advantages.
So block blend have liquidity pools. So as far as I'm aware, the way they work is you'll send your they'll generate a wallet when you go to transact on the site, similar to us, where you're able to send it directly from your wallet to a transaction to a wallet address, and then they'll use their liquidity pools to swap it based on the chain you've selected and the amount. We don't hold liquidity, so that's the difference. We basically just facilitate the motive of being able to swap it anonymously via different methods, which is obviously through the centralized exchange route. That's a differentiation. I mean, Block Blender are a great project. I'm all for every project that is trying to push privacy on chain. I'd never speak badly about anyone or any project on who's kind of in the similar space as us. I think we're all trying to push with this kind of the same goal and the same narrative. But yeah, we are quite different. They hold liquidity pools. We just facilitate swaps via anonymous centralized exchange route.
All right. So one thing I see here is there's an average fee of 0.5%. So are you guys are revenue based project, right? So you are getting some revenue outside of just like taxes, right? So as an example, like out of this 0.5%, how much is the fee to actually do it? Like, let's say what's costing you versus like the amount of profits you're getting off this 0.5% fee?
Good question. So because we're using Houdini Swap's technology, they take a portion of the fee that we're taking. I would say, I think it's about 0.1% of every swap. And then the user is paying 0.5% on the amount that they're swapping, plus the gas that it takes to actually transact the swap. I'm not sure that answers your question necessarily, but that's how the model works. And then in terms of the actual revenue, 100% of the revenue that's generated on all of the products we've already developed and we're going to develop is used to buy back the M-Block token. And then all of the tokens that we buy, out of that, 90% is sent to staking pools for M-Block investors to earn through staking. And then 10% of that particular buyback is used to burn the supply. So really the goal is, such as like invoices that's come in, we want to build a suite of tools that at the end of the journey utilizes this swap technology, so that we're targeting as many audiences and demographics as we can inside and outside of crypto, maybe like Web3 businesses who are kind of starting to utilize this kind of tech. All the revenue that's generated, we're basically feeding back to token holders. The way that team makes money, because I mean, we're not doing this for free, obviously, we're working hard on this. We need to take some sort of salary from it. The way we take our percentages and what fuels the marketing spend and development cost is via the 5% taxes on buys and sells on the token. So we don't touch the revenue generated from the swap. That's just used to buy back, but taxes do go to the marketing wallet and towards team salaries.
Okay, so if I want to use it, I'm gonna pay, when you said the gas fee, so it's gonna be just the gas fee that of sending my tokens to the wallet, right? Not like all the other in between all the exchanges and all of that. That's included in the actual 0.5% fee, right?
Correct.
Okay, so if it's like if it's like Ethereum, I must spend like $10 plus the 5%. If it's BNB, it's gonna be like 10 cents plus 0.5%, right?
Exactly.
So okay, that makes sense, because I think Block Blend is a little higher. I thought they're like charging 1%. I don't remember, but so you guys are using Houdini Swap technology for this, right? So does that mean that everything is going through Houdini Swap and you just made the dashboard, or is there some technology that you guys have that's doing this on Like that's yours,
Yeah.
basically. That's fully yours.
So the swap is Houdini's technology. They're close partners of ours. They have 1% equity within Multiblock. They're going to support us as an advisory board with development. We have a bi-weekly call with them. They're going to support us with marketing and things like that, which is obviously huge for us. They're an 8-figure, soon to be 9-figure project in market cap. So really excited about where that can go. The swap technology is their technology. Everything outside of that we're building, such as the invoicing, is going to be our technology, and they're supporting us with that development. They kind of act as a soundboard with all the development ideas that we bring to them. Say they suggest if it can be done, if it can't be done with their tech, we kind of say the same essentially back. So it's a close-knit partner. For now, the tech that's live is Houdini Swaps. I'm happy to be transparent about that. But going forward, invoices and any future developments that we are doing will be completely our tech.
So can someone just use Houdini Swap to do the same thing or no?
Currently, yes, they can. With invoices, no, and that's going to be going live within the next, we said Q1, so end of March, invoices will be going live.
Okay, and what about the fees that when they're using Houdini Swap? Is that roughly the same?
It's exactly the same, yeah.
Okay, so there's really no like advantage to go on Houdini Swap over you guys. Basically, you guys are gonna have the invoices too, so you're gonna have the advantage with that. Okay, that makes sense.
No, exactly. The only way we differ currently is the staking model and how we utilize revenue to buy back the token to feed staking pools, which is similar to what they do. It's just the calculations are slightly different. But it's M-Block token holders who were with us from pre-sale and launch. We're asking them to be patient. We have some really exciting tech coming. We've got good backing from Houdini Swap. Once invoices go live, we're expecting a lot of KOLs to utilize the technology, revenue to start to build, and then the staking pools just to continue to grow and grow and grow. And hopefully stakers and holders of the token are going to really benefit from that. Currently, I'm sure you're going to probably look at the chart. I'm not afraid to say that the pre-sale route has probably bit us in the arse a little bit. People who have been impatient have unfortunately sold, so we're clawing back that market cap as it is. But we're going to continue doing AMAs and utilizing our partnership with Houdini to get Multiblock out there, and I'm 100% confident that we're going to make this project something very successful in the near future, and it is a long-term thing for myself and the team. We have no issues with closing our eyes and ignoring the charts at the moment because we're working hard and we know we've got a lot of great things coming up.
All right, yeah, I wanted to talk about the tokenomics and the taxes and all that, and then after that, I'll look at the chart, talk about that, and also like what you guys are planning to do. So let's go do the tokenomics first. So I think where's the distribution right here. 40% pre-sale, 15% liquidity. That's a fairly low liquidity percentage, no? Because isn't normally like, at least if you go with the, I don't know, pink sale, jump pad, I do believe 51% is the minimum. I'm not sure if Karma Pad's different, but this seems like it's lower than that, right? 15% liquidity, but pre-sale is 40%. They allow less than 50% for liquidity.
Yeah, they do. They didn't, but they because they have close-knit ties with Houdini Swap themselves, and we had several calls with them. They allowed us to reduce it slightly. Yeah.
Okay. It's just below 40. It's about what, 35 or something like that.
Yeah.
Okay, so you have that. You have reserves, staking. Is that staking going on right now currently? Is that active?
Staking's coming in a few weeks. We've developed the UI for it. We're just discussing if we do non-custodian or custodian and different routes through that, and who's going to assist us with the development of that. Because our full stack dev isn't a I can't even say the word, solidarity coder. So he needs contract help with that. But we're utilising partners for that. But yeah, staking's coming in the next few weeks.
Okay, I see. And the rev share and the staking, how will that work? Are you going to get the rev share from staking, or is there just tokens they're going to be airdropped like regular type of staking?
I think so. Again, based on the UI that we've created, tokens will be claimed and earned via the buybacks that we're doing, via revenue that is generated through the DApp. So we'll basically top up the staking pool every time we do a buyback, and then the APY will be variable. It will change based on how many people are staking and how many tokens are in the pool, and then they will be claimable. We don't know how. I haven't got a specific details on if they're claimable weekly, daily, instantly. But obviously, with what we hope the bull market come in, we know that Ethereum can be a bit of a bitch with gas prices. So ideally, we'd like it so that people can kind of choose when they want to claim to get as best price on gas as possible.
Okay, and I know you guys had a private sale, right? So is that part of the 40% in pre-sale?
So private sale tokens was taken out of the team allocation in the end. We did a very, very small private sale of 60. It was basically just to allow us to push loads of marketing towards the pre-sale. And I think you're actually part of the private sale group. We did have a tight-knit group of people in there who was supporting us with different initiatives, like KOLs are in there and supporting us with marketing and things like that. That was the idea anyway. But yeah, that percentage has been taken from that.
Okay, so there's only 6 ETH. I believe it was 0.1 ETH max, right? Or is there a higher max?
5. Yeah, 0.5 max.
Okay, 0.5 ETH max. And they got 30% discount?
20%.
20% versus pre-sale, right?
Yeah, so and pre-sale was 1 ETH max, so it probably actually made more sense for people in the private sale to actually go for the pre-sale.
Yeah, that's a good way of doing it. I definitely, I think that, because I honestly, when I see projects where private sale is getting huge discounts, I don't really want to be in pre-sale, right? But like you wanted to make it to where like you have a small cap for private sale and a good incentive to buy it, like like 20%, 30%, and then you want those same guys to go buy pre-sale because they want to get more tokens. If you allow like 5 ETH in private sale, who's going to be buying pre-sale, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay, so
I'm not going to pretend that was done on purpose. That was purely accidental, but it does work out quite nicely in that sense.
I know. I think if I was going to give you guys advice, I would have told you to do the exact same thing, because I see projects a lot of times where it's all screwed up, like their numbers, the private sale and then pre-sale. It's like it doesn't add up, right? But I think the small private sale, not too big of a discount, and then to where they still want to go by pre-sale, I think that's a good idea. And you guys filled, I remember it was like 60 ETH, right, on Karma's.
It's 40 ETH in the end.
Oh, 40? Okay, 40, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, hard cap was 60, right?
No,
or
so hard cap was 40.
Was it 40? Oh, it was 40?
Yeah. Yeah, so pre-sale went fairly well. It took us about 2 days to complete that. We did stall a little bit, just under soft cap, and then we basically got some assistance with Houdini Swap just to clarify that they were our partners to the public, and I think that really kick things off for us. And I kind of see that method working again when it comes to let's say reviving the charts a little bit. Houdini Swap are going to support us on all the products that we're creating and marketing and things like that. So yeah, as I said at the beginning, we're asking really for M-Block token holders to be patient. Good things are coming. So yeah.
All right, so one last question about this. So the reserves, centralized partnerships, advisors, are all of these locked, and have some of these wallets sold? Like, for example, partnerships, but even by reading the private sale chat, I know there were some Jeets in there, so I don't know if partnerships is part of that or not. Like, has anyone from partners or, the 7% allocation, has anyone been allocated for that?
No,
And have they sold? Or that's just still like, that's still there, not used yet.
yeah, no advisors or partners or CX tokens have been passed to anyone yet. Only private sale and pre-sale token holders were the ones that had access to tokens prior to launch, and then obviously now we've opened for trading. We have, I think, 200 plus holders currently. But yeah, no one in that percentages has been given tokens yet.
Okay.
We're still figuring out what we're doing with that. It might change. The percentage might change. We might even push some of it to staking and kind of adjust the percentage as we go. But the community will be kept informed on whatever we do going forward.
Okay. So basically, I guess we'll talk about that later when I look at the chart about like what really happened, what's happening, what's going on, what's next, what next thing to do, or like next action plan. All right. So one last thing here, the buy and sell tax. Can you give us a breakdown of where that's going?
So say that again. Sorry.
The taxes. What's the breakdown of the taxes?
So 2.5% is going to the marketing wallet. 2.5% is going to the development wallet. The development wallet does also cover team salaries. So all 8 team members, including the mods, are paid. We're on a weekly pay structure. We're not taking a lot of money from this. We obviously want to hold some funds back for developing on top of the tech, such as like staking, for example. We're obviously going to need third party help for the contract setup and things like that. So we need to utilize funds for that. And then the other 2.5% is purely for marketing at the moment.
Okay, that makes sense. Like that, honestly, yeah, 5% standard for ETH. Nothing, nothing crazy out there. Because the thing is, if you go lower taxes, there's a chance to get trending, right? That's why Solana has been pumping so much. I feel the main reason is because it's tax free, so you got huge volumes in there. People are just trading on, with bots and then you get trending, and then it goes up 100x. It's like a gamble. You never know which one's going to go up and catch traction. But with Ethereum,
exactly.
there's so much fees and just so much gas anyways that you can't really do that. So 5% tax makes sense. For BNB, you go a little higher because the gas fees are a lot lower. So, 10% is normal. For Ethereum, 5% is definitely a sweet spot. So that's all good. Everything's good, and then nothing like crazy going on here. So that's fine. So one last thing, I know you guys need to leave, in 10 minutes. You can't really go over. So try to make it quick. Go look at the chart real quick, kind of discuss what happened and what you guys are planning to do with marketing. What's the next steps you're going to take? Just because, you do want to see like some kind of, let's say change. For example, like honestly, what I would say, if I seen this chart without even looking at what it is, there's two types of people, what they would do. Some people, especially they believe in the team, they all like insiders, whatever. They'll be they'll be DCAing down, right? Buying the dips. But in crypto, a lot of times when you DCA, like you're just going to end up going to zero. Like DCA doesn't really work most of the time.
People think it's dead and stuff like that.
Because everything just dies. It's a spiral, spiral, right? Like, so
that's the elephant in the room.
My favorite strategy for like a chart, it goes up and then goes down, is instead of DCAing, yes, you're not going to get the best price, but the same thing, you never know. What if it's going to reverse down here? So let's say it goes, I don't know, let's draw this. Let's say it goes, if you DCA all the way down here and then all of a sudden it reverses, you're only breaking even over here, right? Let's say you DCA here, then but if you do something like this and you this is what I kind of like to do, is have this line, or maybe even up here, like a breakout trade. Once the reversal happens, let's delete all this actually. Maybe up here, maybe up here. So let's say it goes down a bit and then it goes up, that's when you would buy, because then you see the momentum's changing, right? There's potential for break. Of course, it could drop and then go to zero anyways, but I mean that's kind of what the game plan is. So I do feel once you see some reversals happening, people are gonna start looking at it a lot more, and there's gonna be less FUD in chat. All that stuff is gonna look good. Right now, it is looking fairly decent. Like it's been, it's stabilizing around here. And another thing about Karma Pen, right? You can't really drop below 50%. So half the value, right? That's what it is. It can't go below half the value of pre-sale. Let me see where's the measurement for that. Price range. So 50% drop would be right around. So I guess the floor would literally be make it or break it. Floor is basically 1670 and we're now at 25. Not even that much. So I feel like there's fairly low risk to even buy now, right? Because I mean, you guys don't want to drop below that. So most likely it's going to start reversing fairly soon.
And we have seen volume going through the swap app recently, which is great to see, and it's allowing us to have a pool of funds for buybacks. So essentially we'll be holding the floor a little bit over the coming days. But as we pick up on marketing and doing a lot more AMAs, and we've got YouTuber partnerships coming up, we're hoping we do see a reversal. And then obviously we have product releases coming up, such as staking and invoice payment systems. And I think once those really kick in, that's when you'll see a lot of chart action happening. From my point of view, I completely agree with what you're saying and your analysis there. Thanks for doing that. I agree. I feel like we've kind of settled where we are at the moment. I feel like the pre-sale JEETs are hopefully out. If they're selling now, they're obviously making a loss. So we did see a couple of over $1,000 sales last night, and I think that's probably the last of the big ones. I'm hoping anyway. I just want people to believe in what we're doing now, and I feel like the actions we're taking with marketing and product development and things like that, people will start to believe that, and it has to reverse at some point. That's my opinion anyway.
Yeah, definitely. And so here's what I think will happen, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. Private sale is small. They had 30%, so they're probably not affecting that much. But this is what I see a lot of times. I see even like we're holding a lot of projects where they're also going down. I mean, it still might be profitable. I mean, because it's like stealth launches, very low market caps. But what happens is people don't have no patience. So when they see this, it did basically 2x 100% gain, and then a couple hours, 8 hours later, started dropping and dipping. A lot of people don't have patience. They just decide to sell. They're a little bit of profit. They're like, decide to sell. And then once it goes to launch price, then other people start panicking. So anyone below this point that sold below launch price is at a loss. So that means that that money that they're losing went to people who sold either up here for profits or to the devs, because of taxes, because at the end of the day, it's still liquidity, right? So it's almost like you kind of want people to sell. Like as a dev, you want people to sell at a loss, because let's face it, if someone's selling at a loss, that means someone else is making money, right? And if someone's profiting or cheating at 2x, someone else has to be losing, right? So it's a zero-sum game. So you want the non-believers to sell and let the believers, the ones that believe in it, get the good prices, get the low prices, and that's how the reversals happen. So I feel like the chart is not as scary as it seems. It's only about 30% below, but even less, like 22% right now below launch price. So maybe that push some pre-sellers out, scare them away. They lost money on it, and then they're gonna FOMO back in. Like once it breaks the pivot point again, gets past this 3,900 level or whatever.
Yeah.
So so plus you guys are, how is it going with user base, like using the swap right now? Are you guys having good traction with it yet, like with the DApp, with the swaps? Is there like any volume going on right now?
Yeah, so volume, we got a report. Currently, so the way the API is going to work in the future is we're going to have a dashboard which will show swap volume in terms of dollar amount, number of swaps, and then just a couple of statistics based on the tokenomics, the token itself. But currently we have to go to Houdini just to check out what the volume is, because we don't have the API link to that yet. But we did achieve over $20,000 in swap volume since launch, and we launched on Monday. So that's really good to see from my point of view anyway, that people are actually utilizing it, whether that's testing or actually preferring it to other privacy platforms out there. That's really good from my point of view. As I said, we're going to be using that to support the floor essentially, and continue our buybacks, which will build up the staking pool ready for that to go live in a few weeks.
Cool, thank you. So I know you only got a couple of minutes left. So like you just mentioned, can you give us maybe a little bit more of what the plans you guys have for the? Because let's say all this we're discussing, you know, and someone's trying to decide where to buy now or wait for it to, you know, at least break the downward trend first, before, you know, create some kind of reversal pattern before they buy in, because, you know, there's different types of trading people do, right? So to help them with that decision, what would you say? What are you guys working on right now? What's like the next, you know, couple things you're doing? I know you have staking coming up. You're also doing AMAs. Can you give us a little bit more details about like what's the marketing plan like for, let's say, for the near term?
Okay.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, go for it, or you have anything? Oh, okay. Because Nano stole the show. He's really the guy for answering the technical side of the questions. But for some of the announcement that I can make is that, yeah, other than the chart that we have now, multiple buybacks are going to be setting up to happen. I mean, it already happened before, and we're going to do a lot more multiple buybacks to, you know, to get that kind of reversal, to just hold the floor in general. And staking will actually be live sooner than the 3-week mark as mentioned. So yeah, just wait for the details in terms of the staking, but yeah, it's going to be earlier. And the IPS framework has already been built, and it's moving over to the beta testing phase as soon as next month. So Nano, if you have anything else you wanted to add.
That's thanks for covering product there. In terms of marketing, as I mentioned, we've got a couple of YouTube deep analysis coming up. I won't be announcing the YouTubers just yet, so the community have to wait for that. We've got 3 more AMAs next week. One, we're actually going to be a guest speaker on CoinMerge's space on Twitter, which we're excited about, because I think they attract a lot of listeners, and it's utility focused projects. So I feel like hopefully that's obviously, as well as you guys, hopefully that's our market that we want to hit. And then going forward on top of that, so what did I mention? YouTubers, AMAs. We also have partnerships lined up with a couple of projects in the social 5 space that are going to support us with banner ads and things like that. We do also have a Shill AI contract going on at the moment, which is about 20 days left, I believe. It was a 28-day agreement with them, where they're supporting us with engagements and things like that on social media, which is going really well. It's a mixture of AI, but it's also they do have a network of people who support a lot of the tweets and things like that. And it actually got $MBlock, $MBlock, trending in the US the other day, and we got a nice screenshot of that. So yeah, marketing's going well. We've just going to continue really on this type of avenue. I think AMAs are an excellent way of introducing Multiblock to different communities, because not every crypto investor is part of the same communities. Obviously, people may look at the marketing we're doing at the moment and think, well, hold on, it's not moving the chart. However, I do believe a mixture of new product announcements, continuous development, and also these types of AMAs where we're communicating everything we're doing with existing and new investors will eventually make an impact on the charts for our investors.
All right, perfect. Thank you. And do you have any time for questions from anyone else, or you guys got to leave like right now?
I've got about 5 minutes. Sorry, guys, about that. But yeah, 5 minutes. I'm happy to answer any questions that some people might have.
All right. Does anyone have any questions? You could type in chat or voice chat, whatever you want. If there's no questions, just feel free to ask questions whenever they pop up. Meanwhile, I'll keep on talking until you guys need to go. So take up the rest of the time. Okay, so look at some guys saying about it in chat. Airdrop is strong with this one, but you guys had no airdrops, right? Other than the private sale, which wasn't really an airdrop because they paid for them. There wasn't no free tokens given away or anything like that, right?
No airdrops at all, apart from private sale, which was obviously wallet to wallet transaction, and then we airdrop those. But other than that, there's been no advisor tokens or anything like that.
No, initial price is above where we are at. No. I mean, honestly, if you have, let's say, 20%, 15% liquidity and versus 40% tokens, of course it could go below launch price, right? I mean, if you put 100% into liquidity, then it can't really drop. But if liquidity is lower than what the tokens were for pre-sale, it's math. So if more people sell than buy, it's going to go below launch price. Pretty simple. But anyways, let's see if any more questions. Okay, one more thing. So you guys started marketing. Gonna have how many more AMAs you got planned?
3 more. So we've got. I haven't actually announced them yet, but we've got one, a community one with Houdini Swap on their channels, which we're excited about. We've got one on a Telegram group run by someone called Mr. Manager. And then we've got a guest slot on CoinMerge's Twitter space, which is going to be next Thursday, which Mikey will be leading on.
Okay, perfect. Gabriel, you got any questions? Anyone else, real quick? All right, you want to do like a closing statement or like a final like TLDR before you guys take off?
Yeah, I guess for me, thank you for the masterclass, Boria. Learned a lot more than I thought in this anime with all the with the the prediction and charting out. But yeah, TLDR, some of the things that I want to say, sentiments. I know the chart isn't looking the best, as you mentioned already, but when you're rock bottom down, of course, a reversal is bound to happen, as you mentioned. And yeah, we gotta thank the community for the supporters that, of course, stayed with us from the launch date and up until now. And as Nano mentioned, the marketing is going to continue. We're always being vocal with the team, active in the chats and all. So the team's not leaving for those people. I've seen some FUDs over there. Definitely, we're going to work our asses off for this for Multiblock. So we're not going to give up. So that's a good incentive for you to not this fall. And we're just going to keep on making developments, marketing stuff. And yeah, hopefully that would be enough to get more people in and just chill our bags and stuff.
All right, thank you. Oh yeah, Nano, go ahead.
Just thanks everyone for joining. Thanks for not having loads of bots in here like other AMAs we've done in the past, and no bullshit questions as well, which I quite liked. I've been part of this community for probably coming up to 2 years now. Always believed in you guys, in what you're doing, and which is why obviously I reached out to you guys to link up with an AMA. But thanks for that. If you want to jump in our Telegram, feel free to ask any questions that we might have. As I mentioned, I'm already part of this community, so I'll keep an eye out if you guys want to reach out or DM me or anything like that. Feel free to. It's Friday night now. I'm going to go chill out, eat my dinner, and then probably head to bed, to be honest with you.
Yeah, man, thanks for coming here. This is honestly an interesting project, and it's been so much bullshit in this space lately. All these memes, all this Solana, rugs that I kind of got put off by things, and I have been kind of inactive for a while. But since last 2 weeks or so, we actually internally have been making plans we have a lot of things we're working on. Well, or not really working on other than the stuff we have, but we are planning to get back into, create full-on research teams and, research a lot more projects, because I feel like it's slowly coming back. But yeah, like there's not many good projects even worth having an AMA on. Like all these devs who are like don't even go into voice chat because it's the same ones that rug 50 other projects. That's why now the whole meta is just, get some callers, do some step launches or some pink sale, launches where, project goes 2x and dumps, and because the devs snipe their own contracts or, whitelist in their own wallets for pre-sale. So it's good to actually have an actual legit project for once, and we have another couple coming up too. So that's why we like, and that's why the whole anti-ruggers thing I like, because it kind of filters out all the crap,
Yeah, definitely.
So yeah, definitely, honestly, good project, and I'm definitely, I've been, I actually, like I told you, I missed the private sale, literally like 2 hours, because I was going crazy at this other private sale and asking them all kinds of questions. They were getting bullied around. I totally forgot that you guys had it going on too.
Well, it sounds like it's a blessing in disguise at the current price anyway. So
yeah, and I got it cheaper, so that was perfect.
Thanks very much for your time. I really appreciate that.
Yeah, thanks, man. Yeah, have a good one. Have a good weekend, and see you around, everyone. Please, I encourage you guys all to go in their Telegram, check it out. Because, oh yeah, one thing I got to tell, the incentive we have for the giveaway, when you win your giveaway, you get your tokens and when I win tokens. But the incentive we have is, so the value that when I win tokens can be $100, right? So if you spend like $50 on the project, so in this case, Multiblock, you would get 1 extra AMA point, and if you spend $100, you get 2 points. So if you win, and then you put that equal amount of money towards Multiblock, you would get extra points. That means you have a higher chance to win in the next AMA. That's how it works. So, and the points are cumulative. You got every AMA, everyone that's participating gets 1 point. So the more AMAs you join, the more incentives you use, the more points you get, the more chances you have of winning in the future. So thanks, guys, and I'll be ending the recording right now, and we'll be doing the giveaway shortly. Thanks for coming, and obviously you've been here for 2 years, so yeah, glad to have you here, man.
Thanks, guys.
Awesome, guys. Yes.
Take care.
Take care.